Last line on Testament base.
The chil is like he wasn't trying to sell it. He was trying to transfer it.
When do you say there's a bittul mekach?
I'm going to start like money for parents. There are chills, I'm doing money for money, or pairs like whatever, pairs for pairs, those cases are on. I see in the article they say on the side, say that Shtotzer of Chaim and Sefer that Mecher is a Chois Adam, and Chil, you really have to figure out exactly what makes it a Chil.
Which of Chaim? Chaim Alevi?
It's a Chois HaTorah. It's like that's what they want. But English is 22.
Let's see what the Mephoshim say. What does the Pnei Moshe say? Zakos b'Sefri, but it doesn't say anything. He just says Chol Ze'areishon Amasisim v'achakach Sharach Hay Tamon Taninon v'kan derech Chil. Sharach Shaper Alo Hod leKamon v'chiyav Masisim Amikein v'il l'Maishen Saper B'tot doesn't really give me a definition. Ma'afulda looked as a Tamon Tanina ein loichim mit Ma'aseh Sheni Amunachal v'kei behem b'shoyge derech Mechira Yazu Adam v'koyma v'derech Chil Yachar Kenegdon. That's it. Not explaining what Mechira, what is Mechira and what is Chil. The Gemara in Sukkah Daf Mem talks about it as well, right? That's what the Rashi will bring. B'sech Shvi is Be'ek La'godol Bitmiyad. Otem Mishum the Shana Hoche B'Shvi is Shana Kan Gam Ma'aseh Sheni B'Shitfud Lishna, because you have a machlokes in the Gemara in Sukkah if we say Merchach Chil by Shvius as well. The Hainu HaKoine Pei is Mechuborim L'Kona Ma'aseh V'Amois Kedoshim B'Yad HaMoicha V'Ocha Mashma L'Kona Moicha V'Hein Chulim B'Yodeh Dumi the Shvius. So he's explaining the kasha a little bit differently. We understood the kasha to be in the Mishnah. Here it says L'Kona Ma'aseh. You're not the coin of the Ma'aseh. Masha Einkein, if you buy Eved or Behemis Tameim, Yochel Kenegdon. That was the kasha. He said, Doti Mishum Dushona Hochi B'Shvi Shona Kein Gabi Ma'aseh Shitu Lishna Ipcha Shemin Lei the Pochas Mikan L'Kona Ma'aseh. The Haina HaKoine pays Mechuborim L'Kona Ma'aseh. We learned over there in a Braisa in Shvius that somebody buys, pays Mechuborim like on a Ma'aseh. The Amois Kedoshim B'Yad HaMoicha, the Kedusha bleibt, V'Ocha Mashma the Kana Moicha V'Hein Chulim B'Yad HaDim the Shvius. Can't say a different explanation in the Kasha here. So what's the teretz? Kan derech Mechira, kan derech Chilul. Pirushoi, Kehudelu V'Agozel. What's the difference between Mechira and Chilul? Masnisim b'derech Mechira mischalel. Our Mishnah is talking about Mechira. Shemoicha lekarka b'derech Mechira. Mishum hochi hamoyis kunuyim etzel hamoicha. He made a mekach. A mekach is mekach. If it doesn't apply to the laws of Ma'aseh Sheni, or doesn't apply to Ma'aseh Sheni, the mekach is mekach. Shemoicha lekarka b'derech Mechira. Mishum hochi hamoyis kunuyim etzel hamoicha. He sold him the karka and he gives him money, so the money bleibt. But the kayach yoichel kenegdom, because he bought something which wasn't something which is proper for Ma'aseh Sheni. Yoichel kenegdom masnisen liel aydei chil. It wasn't a mekach; it was a chil. Sh'oma. What did he say? In other words, what was the conditions of the exchange of the deal? Aydei chil. Sh'oma hochi harei peiris halolu muchololim al peiris hamechaborim. Not it should be exchanged with a mekach, it should be a din of chilul. That's what he said when he made this transaction. Who hadin the behemet tameya ikona bechilul devade enim mischalul el davke b'mekach memka. So when do we apply the laws of mekach memka? That has nothing to do really with the dinim of Ma'aseh Sheni. But if you go with chilul, then it applies works. Chilul only works when you comply with the lochos of Ma'aseh Sheni. It depends what he said. He said mekach, then the mekach is mekach. But if you said not mekach, you said chilul, then you got to work on it. Only transacts, and it's only chalos of chilul when it works with the dinim of mekach of ma'aser sheni. So if you buy a behemoth tameya, it's not going to work. L'chayda then mayim and melach should be the same thing. What's the nafkamina? Why is there a difference in the Mishnah? That's why the Rasul is not learning the kasha like the other Mefashim are saying. But the kasha in the Mishnah is, here it says Lekona Maise, and here it says Yochel Kenegdon. What's the Goyin say? The Goyin says Chad Metares Kanda Mechira Braise Lekona HaMekach. Das steht in the Braise that you're not going to the Mekach. Hainu Aidei Mechira V'Lekicha. Aidei Mechira V'Lekicha. So that's why it's Lekona HaMekach, because it works, it's a Mekach Toys. And he said that he's selling him something. We can masnisen the Tony Yochel Kenegdon. Das steht in unserer Mishnah that if you want behemoths to mayim or mayim melech, and it says that Yochel Kenegdon shechilul hamois ma'aser shein al behemoth have a chilul. He made it derech chilul, and because he made it derech chilul, the rules of mekach memka of the mekach toys that doesn't apply. So that's the going how the going is like. Chrono ma, a few Roman alf. Ma'aser sheni will for Yuram al. Nimish I get to Basu Mashchaim Yisrael Dog Yishchaim Eva Yisrael. Chrono ma. What's the teretz on the kasha? Kan kishamoicha kaim v'kan sheholach lo yamoicha. When do we say this mekach toys and the money goes back? If the moicha is here, the moicha is not here. There's no way I could cancel this transaction. He ran away with the money. He's not here. I don't know who said that it's talking about the meches, the moiches kayim, and who said kan sheholach lo hamoicha, he's not here. That was one teretz. That's Charona's teretz, and the previous teretz we had the B'yoyno Ama that the machlekes is derech mechira derech chilul. Miman domer Rabbi Yossi b'shem Shmuel. We have Rabbi Yossi says.
If there's no other option, then it can't be batal the mekach. He has to take it up to Yerushalmi.
It's not so simple, because what are you saying? He's not here, so the money's not here. I can't return the money. Because moicha kayim. What's moicha kayim mean? Look at Pnei Moshe. Not explaining this. Okay, what's the menaful? Give back the money. When is it possible? If he's here. So the fact whether it's a bittul mekach or not a bittul mekach is totally if the money is around, if I can get back the money, and if I can't get back, the bittul mekach should be a bittul mekach, whether it's here or not. Can't get back the money, that's the problem. But that's a separate story. But if you can't get back the money, the bittul should be a bittul no matter what. So the Charon is saying, when do we say there's a bittul mekach? If the money is here, the moicha is here. Can't give him the geld. He's not here, so matter what do? I don't say bittul mekach. Then I say yochel kenegdon. Because this money, if it doesn't come back for whatever reason, it's not here, we're going to say Yochel Kenegdon, because if the money's coming back, so the money's going to be used in Yushalayim, Yochel Peiris. Until L'Yis Hashem, you're going to have a kiyum. But if the money's not here, so how are you going to be Mekayim the mitzvah of the man Tilmud? So Yochel Kenegdon, from the man of the geld. So there's always going to be, somehow, I have to have an Achilas Peiris in Yushalayim, to be Mekayim the din of man Tilmud. So if I have the money here, that's good. So then you can use the money for the Achilas Peiris in Yushalayim. But if the money's not here, then you have to take out the Yochel Kenegdon. Einachanami, the bittul mekach is not totally if the money is here or not here. The bittul mekach is a bittul mekach. You made a mekach toys, a mekach toys. That's how I understand this Gemara. So to menafulda, kam mishamoicha kayim yazer adam So to more weiter, man do Omer Rabbi Yosef b'Shem Shmuel, nikne ha-mekach, harehu do Omer kan derech mechira, kan derech chil. So he's the one that says, why? Because I have a beferish braise that says, man do Omer dog, man do Omer dog, man do Omer Rabbi Yosef b'Shem Shmuel, nikne ha-mekach, harehu do Omer kan derech mechira. Nikne ha-mekach means derech mechira, but kan derech chil. Masnis in the Bekiva, the loike b'Shmuel. So now the Gemara is going into a different topic. There's a Bechlekes Bekiva and B'Shmuel. How to dashen the posuk. The main posuk is B'Shmuel Doresh. V'nesata Akesa B'chol Hashita B'Nafshecha Klal B'Boker B'Tzoyin B'Yayin B'Shecha Prat V'chol Hashita Tisholcha Nafshecha Harei Klal Acha Klal Uprat Uklal Iyatadon Elo Kena Prat. It's interesting. In the Bible, he really doesn't usually say like this. It says, Prat ubachol asher teishcha nafshcha harei klal. It's prat klal. Acha klal prat iyatadon elokena prat. It's an extra sentence in there. Lo melacho ma prat mefurish. Just like the prat is mefurish. Baboko batzoy yayin b'sheicha. Shu vlad v'lodis ha'oretz. All these things are gedulei oretz. Af ainli eladovish who vlad v'lodes oretz. It's something which gedulei oretz, and if it's not gedulei oretz, like hagovim, it's not called gedulei oretz. It doesn't come from the ground. So maybe that's nismayit. Look at Pnei Moshe. Asisna Bekiva. Oh, duloi memai b'masnisin elo ilu. What does he mean? He's going to say like this. He says it goes to Bekiva. Why? What does the Mishnah say? Mai melech. The Aise, it goes according to the Bekiva. We'll soon see the Bekiva in 1 minute. The Lloyd Kidrashes Bishmod Al Kameh. The Ilu Droshes Bishmod, which you just saw now, Imayit Nami Dogim. We learn out that what is a myriad of Dag. That is not Geduli Yoretz. The Iu Dorish, Ma Prat Mefurish Vlad Vlodos Oretz, Shinivim and Oretz. Bishmod's Drash is. It has to be something which is nivim and oris, which is not dag. The Ma'aser bereishes, the fuki dogim. Dag is the Maya ivru. It comes from the water. Chagovim rekak nivru. It comes from the water and the oris together. That's called rekak. Ukameim pitrius any gedelim boris. Gedelim pitrius also not gedelim in oris. So these things are smayit. It has to be. Blood is gedulei oretz. That's according to Rabbi Shmuel. We'll look at Bekiva. Let's go back to the Gemara. Bekiva mefarish ma prat mefurish dovashu pri vlad pri umachshire pri, something which is mesakin the pri. Af ainli el dovashu pri vlad pri umachshire pri. So what's the nafka minute? Ma nafka b'bineim. What's the nafka minute to Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Bekiva? Dogim v'chagovim. It's a dag. And chagovim. Chagovim is a type of grasshoppers. And dogim is the fish, kemeim, upitrias, truffles, and mushrooms. Bekiva nichim b'kesem Maaser. According to the Bekiva, dag, chagovim, kemeim, upitrias is nichim b'kesem Maaser. Rabbi Shmuel, eine nichim. According to Rabbi Shmuel, you can't use it for mois Maaser sheni. You can't use it. So that's a machlokes of these 4 things. Machlokes. Rabbi Kiva and Rabbi Shmuel. Look to Pnei Moshe. He explains this. What's the nafka minute? Ma prat mefurish shehen gam ken machshire pri kloima. What is machshire pri? Mishaknin v'oichlim b'hem ezedov. It's a tikkun of the pri. Im kein is rabbi nami chagovim. Shem pri mi pri machshire pri. Chagovim is pri mi pri machshire pri. Ukmei mi pitris shehen gedelim be'ilon. He calls it. These things are growing from the tree. It goes usually you find it on the trunk of the tree. Mikroyim pri mi pri mashiri pri kama manafkelo b'neihem mehani droshes dogim. According to the Bekiva, the dog is nikim b'kesem Maaser. Tamon tanina akosel yaloch hu d'shayach tamon tanina b'masnisen and look. Let's get Let's get free in the Mishnah. Okay, let's see. It goes back on the previous minute. Shviz, akos kam b'svarim toy soifer. Doesn't belong here. The word shviz. The after tinin came b'shviz Perik Aleph Mishneches Ma Shachlim Imi Shviyas HaMa'aser Sheni. What's the Shachas from Shviyas HaMa'aser Sheni? Different rules. Le'al Tanina Behedya Gabe Ma'aser Sheni Hochi Parach Mihosen Niton Yochel Kinegdon. Dort steht doch Shalakeach Yochel Mimoy Shaloi B'Kedushas Ma'aser B'Yishlayim. In other words, if there was a Mekach, he's going back on the Gemara that says there was a Mekach Toyes, and the money is not here because the Moicha left. Shalakech Yochel Mimoy Shaloi, so the Moicha now has to take his own money. B'Kedushas Ma'aser B'Yishlayim Kefi Oisna Moish Shehoitzi B'Dvarim Alolu. Stomach Tony the Mashra Ben Shoyge Ben Meized V'Achim B'Mastis Natam V'Achim. Don't the Mishnah said that they'll have a Ma'aser. It doesn't say the Yochel Kenegdon. Why? The Imlokach paid us a behemoth b'shoigig. If he did a b'shoigig and he bought a behemoth, whenever something is not nikul b'kesem ma'aser sheni, so b'shoigig a behemoth b'shoigig constina leile l'moicha. It was a shoigig. Is do a knas v'yazu dom l'mekoimam. V'mayla constina hosa nami l'moicha sheyazu dom l'mekoimam. So the Gemara is spalgim b'shinuya. So there's a machlokes. He says this is one shot. We saw the Gemara before. That is a machlokes, a spalgan. That's why right after the Mishnah of the tests, Amid Beis, Tamon, Tanina, and Eilocha, Bon, Mekois, Behemoth, Tmeim, and Meishviz, Yoch, Kenegdem, and Kanat, Mahoch, and B'yoyin, is spalgan, so machlokes. Now he's explaining that Gemara there. Rabchia, B'yoyse, B'shmur, the Chadam, Akam, Maslisin, the Eilocha, Bodem, Derech, Mechira, Mari, V'amekach, Kayim, the Mekach here, the money is here, but like Kansin, Leila, Moicha, Fika, Tzach, Alakeh, Shech, Kenegdem. If he bought up a Paris, a behemoth, there's another teretz is what? That is derech chil. What does derech chil mean? There was the Gemara over here, the last line in the Testament, derech chil, derech mekach. He said to him, you mechalol ma Paris. It should be mechul on the Paris. Oyal behemoth shaloch. He used the word chil instead of mekach. Well, lekach the tani lav dafku. Why you say the word lekach? If it's talking about chil, then the word lekach is not appropriate. He says lav dafka el dahainu hamachalul mishum lechalim chavei nokad lo belishin lekach. He just uses the word lekach, but it's not really lekach. It's chil. V'kiven the kaimelon kechachamim deremeir balochad liel the ein mechalim mois ma'aser sheni al shum dova kim dafke al ashchutim. Has to be dova ashochet, not on karka. After the Eved, ein mechalolim, yaza adam l'mekoimam. So that's the din, chilik of Mekach, or you say it's chil. V'charona ha'makan k'shemoich k'kayim m'kan shenemoich. That's the beginning of this omid. The tavayu b'derech mechira. He says no. Both of them is talking derech mechira. And here the moich is here, the moich is not here. K'shemoich k'kayim is the din konsin lei lo nikna ha'mekach v'yaza adam l'mekoimam. And the money has to go back. And that's al derech knas. Interesting, he's saying it's not because it's a mekach memka and it's a mekach toys. He says the mekach is toys midinim from what? For knas. The kam b'masdisin den loichim avodim ma'ili shalach lo ha'moicha. The moicha is not here. Oishemes v'yesh l'asa b'domim l'fikul tzarech l'keach sheyoichel kenegdom. Why? The din of mekach and memka, if it's bottle the mekach or not bottle the mekach, shouldn't be told if the money is here or not. Elamai daf mezogen that even though we say that the mekach is toyis, but the din of yochel kenegdom has to be completed. In other words, it has to be a din of yochel kenegdom. That has to be. V'lo yadana, lo yadina mi mishnaya mishani kacha yukat lo misaymi. Elamai da omer Rabbi Yosef b'shem Shmuel lekamo, and we found a member from Shmuel on daf Yudam and Beis. The loichim avodim the nikna hameka v'lo konsin lo moichi. Im kein shmami no, we know that at least Shmuel who dama hay shnua kan derech mechira v'kan derech chira, because he's the one that says in an omid base. Could be Shmuel ein l'kochim. Omer abchid, the last two lines of the Gemara. Omer abchid chagi. Maslis no mekain sheim mechalim moyis al peiris berichik mokem. So the pnei Moshe, what does that mean? Maslis lekamon in Peri Gimel sheminim in Be'edyo sheim mechalim moyis ma'aser al peiris berichik mokem. B'chutz Yerushalayim. That means berichik mokem. It's not Maslis and Shom. Mishoy loy moyis b'Yerushalayim v'tzorich loy lechavei peiris. he needs to pay this, and he has money in Yerushalayim. Omaloi harei hamoyis ha'elu, which I have in Yerushalayim, uchalon la perisecha. Alma dafka b'Yerushalayim hu diyochel l'chal hamoyis. When is there a din of chilul hamoyis? That's only in Yerushalayim. Ma'aser shelo pays chulun shel chaverei. Avaloi b'richik makom. Outside Yerushalayim, the din of chilul doesn't work. Kivin shekain shapim etukmim masis nehacha b'derech chilul. Shim chilul hamoyis ma'aser b'chutz Yerushalayim al pays al behemer lo yosek klum shem chal hamoyis ma'aser al pays b'richik makom l'fi yaz adam l'mekaymam. He's saying his wife is because it's b'richik makom. On the right side, in the middle of the column, Masnisin Rebbe Kiva. The Moshe says that our Mishnah goes according to Rebbe Kiva. That's when we get to the drash of the posik, the Klal Prat Haridash in it. Talmud Kamasik Lefrush Masnisin Alibi the Shmuel Dama the Masnisin Mechira Dumi Shvius. So he's now saying he's Medam. This is the sugya there in Afmem and Sukkah. There's also, if you say that Shvius is the same halachas like Ma'aser Sheni, so he says, Shmuel da'amad the Masisa Mechira dumi the Shvius. Says the Mechira of Shvius and Ma'aser Sheni is the same. Pri Rishon he the Kona Hameka Chalakeh, Vim Kei Masnis Niktani Koshu Chutz L'Achila. Yoicha Kenegd and Tam the B'midah Zav Achila. But B'midah Achila, going Dogim Chagov and Kameim Pitches, these are all things that is a machal. Koine ba'afila lekatchila. The Ma'aser, you could buy these things lekatchila. The Ma'aser b'shviyas ki adodin. He says the rule is that according to this Gemara, that the halachas of Ma'aser sheni and the halachas of shviyas also you have to use the money to buy. You have to machal on peiris ki adodin. In b'shviyas dogim mekmeim shari lekatchila bein tzarich lechel kenegdom. Rebbe Kiva the daughter is Rebuya Yimuyit, not Klal Prat. Kedisa pegim the shviyas. Vlad vlodas ha'oris. So now he's explaining what does it mean Vlad vlodas ha'oris. What does Vlad vlodas ha'oris mean? Boka vladimai. The boka is the vladimai. It comes from a mother. Chen yayin yad chatzanim. What's Vlad vlodas? Wine is the product, the byproduct of the chatzanim. Chatzanim is the peel around the grape. It comes from the ground. The grapes come from the ground. The mute, what does it come to mind? Not the boka. Boka also comes from the ground because it eats the food from the ground. It comes from the water which he called the Moshe called it rikak, which is a combination of the water and the others. Pri vlad pri. Afilu dogim b'chlal shem noldim midogim. Oh, according to the Bekiva, he expands it, and he includes the dag also. Why? Because it's spontaneous generation. One dag comes from another dag. Machshire pri. What does machshire pri mean? Shemachshire noichel acha l'tabel boy. Use it for a dip. Im kein kameim epitios the chazi l'tibel behem. Kameim, these mushrooms and truffles, you could use it for a type of dip. Shari likach, you could buy Ma'aser Sheni with it. So what's this Ma'aser according to the Bekiva? So our mission goes according to the Bekiva. The only miyad, our mission says Ma'im Melech, the La Machshirim Ninu, Loy. It's not considered Ma'im Melech, not called a Machshir, even though the Pasuk Melech Teichel, you use the salt is also a tibble. But according to this, the Rashi is saying that Melech is not considered a tibble. So according to the Bekiva, that's this Ma'aser. A pasuk Rambam, the Kameim Piti saying you could be Kesem Ma'aser. I forgot to have the Loy Kiva because the Kiva is this Mabe Kameim Piti because that's called Gedule Karka. What does it mean Gedule Karka? Pure, it's because somehow it grows from the ground, even though it's not maybe not the boy Pri Adama. Mishum de Perikol Ma'av Niktinon B'Pshitas Dein Nikrim B'Kesem Ma'aser. Masnisin Omro. Okay, this is the last piece of the Gemara. We see who the die came the Mataritzin the Masnisin Kanka Shemoicha Kayim, Kan Shemoich Holochloi, and Masnisin Kisholochloi, Mairi Mishimachitani Kula the Yoicha Kinagdom. That's the Kula Yoicha Kinagdom when the Moich is not here. The Hansa Domim Lo Yefsha. He's not here. He can't be Master the Dom. So you can't be Master the Dom, you have to do Yoicha Kinagdom, other guilt. If it's possible, that's for sure you take back the money. Ki hasam, the likona ma'aser. Ikul Kshuya Masnis, and Maishno, the Bechil, Moyes, Bidichik Makam, Bepedes, Lechazi, Tani Yazidam, Leitani Beikula, Kihalk Lamak, Connect. Why we say over there where it's not possible Bidichik Makam, Bila Gabe Lav Uchla, when it's not an Ochla, Konabod, Behem, it's not Beresha. The Mikoshken, the Lekanya Mais, Yazidam, the Mekayma. This is one of there's a famous here Chaim here. They all bring here, all the Mephoshim bring here on this Gemara. It's really a Mishnah Vaita, but I just want to go. It's a longer Chaim here, and a Ravid, and a Rambam. But to understand Mekach and Chilul properly, be aware of this Rambam. Hope you can see it here on the screen. It's Perek Ches Halacha Zayin. Lakea Perus Besela Shel Kesef Ma'aser. This is a Mishnah Vaita. He bought Perus Besela Shel Kesef Ma'aser. He used the Kesef of Ma'aser Sheni to buy Perus. Perus Chulin. Umoshach HaPerus. He made a Meshicha in the Perus. Again, these Perus are Perus Chulin. And he's buying with Ma'aser Sheni Geld. He wants to buy the Perus. Comes to Yerushalayim, and he's buying Perus Chulin with Ma'aser Sheni Geld. Lehisbek Litan HaSela, and he didn't get to paying for the Perus. Achu Hukru HaPerus. The price of the Perus went up, and he didn't pay for it yet. V'omdu b'shtayim, instead of one seller, it's two shloim. Hareze mafresh aleim seller b'vad. You don't have to pay the higher price. Shenema zok Ramba v'nosen hakesef b'kom loy v'nesinas hakesef koine v'aschal ha'maisa. He's koine right away with the nesinas hakesef, even before the price. So the price didn't go up. The price was only one seller, and now the extra is the schar goes to you only have to pay one seller. So one seller now it's worth two shloim. So who fadins? The Ma'aser fadins. Take a look down here now. I don't know if you can see my cursor here. Basog Zal, Efshe. The Ravid said this is not possible. This halacha. Sharei lo nosen lo kesef. He didn't give the money yet. So where was the kinyan here? Again, look at the Rambam. The Rambam said Lecha pem Ma'aser Shenim umoshach haPerus. He made a meshicha, but there was no nesinas moris. And you talk about Ma'aser. You talk about Ma'aser. The Ma'aser is different than regular meshicha. We always need meshicha. The konos meshicha. So the fact that Ivid, why does the Rambam say that with the Nisata Akesa there's a kinyan with the money? He didn't give the money here. That's one kasha. Ma osa ha'maisa bekan v'aloy ha'peiris shenimishchu chulnein. This peiris ha'chuln here. What's the kodesh? The maisa is the kodesh here. So why do we say over here that it has a din that you're koine with the nesinas hakesef? The nesinas hakesef is the maisa geld. So why does that make the kinyan? Upligi harama v'arayve the Rambam mafarish la mishnah the moshech himenu peiris. He's saying the Rambam is learning the Mishnah Fakir that it says here. I don't understand if Chaim is here saying the way we read it, the Reb Chaim here is talking here. Look here in the top. Moshach haPeiris lehisbek litan hasela achu hukru haPeiris. V'amnu b'shtayim. Nisat hakesef kom v'nesinas hakesef koine v'aschal ha'maisa. Moshach Peiris b'shtayim. So it's mashma here that this Peiris was chulin, and the money was the Ma'aser Sheni. So if the money is the Ma'aser Sheni with the nesinas hakesef, it doesn't say here that he didn't give anything yet. He just lehispik litin hasela achuk haPeiris. It's very hard to understand how the Rambam understands this Mishnah. So he says like this: Ashiyira li loim v'das Rambam. It's a long piece. Just this Yisai, I want to understand what's Mekach and what's Chilul. So he explains like this: Yisai din kinyan kesef, umasha koine es hadava. This is allgemein. What does kinyan kesef always mean? Masha koine es hadava shekenegdoi. Yisai din kinyan meshichahu, masha koine es haguf hadava. Umemele is chayav shekenegdoi b'tashlumam. If you coin it with kesef, that is the tashlum and that's the kinyan. Masha if you coin it with meshicha, that's one thing, and then you have to pay for it. He says, what do you mean? You have another kinyan. You have a kinyan of shava kesef. It's not b'kedushin. Yichlev shava b'av mavui sham b'sugya. That's also kinyan kesef. When you do shava kesef. Rei lehedjit gam shava kesef choshev kesef lasis kinyan kesef likness eshkenegdai. Alkein svir le'ambam the v'shichas peiris hachulin. This case in the Rambam is the money was Ma'aser Sheni, and he makes a Meshicha in the Peiris, which is Chulin. Chayli din kinyan kesef liknes es ha-kesef mishemochi Ma'aser Sheni shekenegdai. So with this Meshicha in the Peiris, you coined the money which is Ma'aser Sheni, because that's a ribi. B'chein harei tanan in B'chayres he says ein poidin avodim lo b'shtoris. Okay. So it says here on the left side, Akocha the kol shova kesef kesef. Well, Mishum da hakol lefi anishim imhu b'toyis kesef b'toyis priya kesef the kol zei rak b'kinyan ahedjit the hozemu da habedin da hakol lefi hanishim v'ativa ukas v'masha kem b'kinyan hegdish u'ma'aser sheni. This is the punchline in the first mahalach. He says, Kivin the ikad din chilulon hu. This works with a din of chilul, not with a din of Mecca, because a special din of chilul, which we have by Ma'aser Sheni and also by Shviyas. The bezer the chayil ala chulin din hegdish Ma'aser Sheni shenase sheyotze hegdish lechulin. The hegdish goes out lechulin with din chilul. Bezer gufa etzem hakinyan. The fact that one goes out lechulin, that gufa is the kinyan, not a kinyan of normal kinyan which we have Mecca Chememka, where we have Meshicha with Nisv V'Techa B'Aliyah. That doesn't apply here. Akain amina l'olam ha'chulin heim the cheshiva kaspa. The chulin is considered the money, which is over here the peiris, which is the chulin. Shekoines ha'egdish m'chan loisa beguf hadava hamugdish mikri peiri beguf hadava hanikna, which here in this case is the money, because the money was kodesh. Alkein zeh shehevi Rambam akrod and asata kesef kiv the din kinyan kesef kan legaber chilul. It's not really Mecca Chememka, it's a Dover Chil, which is a Naya Chiddush. Mada Peiris Shehein Shova Kesef Shechulim, Bosa Kesef L'Kinyan Ma'aser Chilul. So in other words, he's saying is like, that this is what the Rambam says, in the Sata Kesef, within the Sina of the Kesef, you have a Kinyan, and you don't have to worry about the Meshicha that you normally have to have. And the Rebbe is asking on him, where's the Kesef? The Kesef was the Peiris in this case, because the Peiris is really what's the Chulun. So he says no, because Migalt Benegay to the din of Chilul, the Pshat is it works as if it would be a Mecca. It's not really a Mecca. So in this case, is the money is the Chilul on the Peiris. So therefore, he says once you gave the money to the Bala Peiris, that's the Kinyan. That's the Kinyan. So the Hegdish is koined. And all of a sudden, if it goes up in price, it's already after the kinyan, so that the extra belongs to Hegdish. So Akaponim, it looks like over here.
The thing you're trying to sell here is the Moyes, not the Paris.
Correct. So in other words, going back to the original question, which we spoke about this morning, is when the Gemara says in Naftesim and Beis, to answer the steer, why here we say Bitla Mekach, and here we say that Yazer Adamim, and for the Gemara in the first Pshat, and Bechir by Yosef, Kan derech mechira, kan derech chilul. What does that mean? If you went and he said, "Listen, I want to buy it from you," okay, then it's a regular din of Mecca Chememka. You have to apply all the din from Bakamba Bometzia. Masha Enkein. If you want to work with a derech chilul, the Torah gives you the Sata Kesed. This pasuk is talking about derech chilul. So derech chilul, there's no bikla Mecca. What's the din over there? Is Yachach Kenegdim. Because that's the whole idea. Of to be mechal the peiris, but it doesn't work with the nisif v'techa b'aliyah. It doesn't work. What's the kinyan? The kinyan is the nesinas hakesef. Once you gave the kesef, and you don't have the dinim of meshicha. That's how I understand, at least in the first shot here in Abchaim. Okay, I get that, boy. Say. Have a great day. See you, Tavis.